Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager. We're on episode 15. Last time we left off with a change over the last few episodes. So we picked up Seva, and initially she was on an auto scheduling feature, and she was in weak, low level junior tournaments. Occasionally, she trained ridiculously well, but she was crushing the competition in those little itty bitty tournaments. Then we manually started controlling the tournaments, got her into the big junior tournaments, and then into at least one world tour level, like baby tournament, but at least world tour level, where she also performed well. So she hasn't done nothing but win, but she's won almost every match she's been in since we took over. But what has also happened is she stopped progressing. So when we can, where we can, we need to back off a little bit and get her some training so that she can develop, so that we can actually get her into those bigger, better tournaments on a regular basis. But I think this season I'm kind of just focusing on her position and role as a junior. It's already late July. I'd like to see what we can do with her for this one final season in the junior ranks, and then I'm going to focus on having her at the world tour level and focus on that development, not necessarily what that rank is, just trying to get her into some tournaments, meaning not partaking so much in junior tournaments going forward. Okay, well, so there's that. She's 16, she's got lots of development, and we've already moved her up to 6th place in the rankings. So there she is in 6th place on 2,385 points. She's played 31 tournaments, second most to everyone other than Fritvertova, who we've gone up against many times in finals or semifinals of these recent tournaments, coming out ahead quite a bit more often. So she is definitely gaining ground on Fritvertova. But one big thing that we noticed right at the end of last episode, as we have just opened up our 3rd slot, so we have the ability to assign yet another athlete to our squad. And then I noticed this. Who is the best player that we have scouted so far? Corey Goff. Now, previously, Corey Goff was not interested in signing with us. That's who we wanted, not Kazanseva. And then Corey Goff showed no interest. Maybe our reputation has improved. Maybe we can sign her. And look, Corey Goff, 18 years old, 3rd in the rankings, and we know she's quality. And then also, who was the other one we picked Kazanseva over our other choice? The other finalist was Katrina Scout, 2nd in the rankings. So there you go. All 3 that I've been after, that I've been looking at for potential signings, all 3 are right here at the top of the junior rankings. Now that that slot's open, my choices are obvious. I'm going to go for Goff, and then if she doesn't sign, we'll try Scout. And here's why I'm going to go for Goff first. If we look here at our last evaluations, you can see there's not much quality except 2. We have Katrina Scout, current 1.5 with that 3 to 4. This is the same range we have for Kazanseva. But there's Goff, 3 with that 4.5. I mean, this is fantastic potential in a player and already a whole lot of quality. In fact, that is similar to what we have in Ann Lowell, but a bit younger. So we're going to try Goff. If it doesn't work, we go for Scout, and let's give it a shot. Nope, that's it. She's still not interested. So still no interest for Goff, unfortunately. You can see there's that 3rd academy slot that's open. We have 1 key player or 2 major players available at some point or another, but then plenty. There's no limitation to promising players or secondary players, just the overall academy slots. But Corey Goff, not interested. So we'll go back. And now we try Katrina Scout, 18 years of age. She's a couple years older than Kazanseva, but her World Tour rank 225, a lot higher than Kazanseva. She's definitely done a bit more. At 18, she's spending more time at the World Tour level. We haven't really even seen her in the junior tournaments. So her win ratio is a little bit lower, but the reason for that is she's a little older. Fame, same as Kazanseva, but Kazanseva was Fame 4. We've just already raised that up by 1 level, and she's a little more seasoned, ambitious, hot-headed, charismatic. So yeah, I don't expect a lot from there, but quality, potential, still young. Sure, propose a contract. Okay. And she's not interested either. Not the start we were hoping for. I was certainly banking on getting one of them. I figured Goff would still be a no, but it was worth a shot to check out. I was certainly hoping that Scout would be a yes, especially since I was a Scout in the Army, and she's American. So, it just kind of fits in with my expertise. I'm American. I was a Scout. Makes sense. So relationship meant to be. Only it wasn't. We'll have to keep scouting to find another. And we now enter our second World Tour level tournament. It's just a rookie 10, so it's a very small tournament. There's only 5 rounds indoor, not a lot of prize money involved. But it's a chance to kind of test our mettle against higher competition. In this case, the number 1 seed, just 557th. We have a real shot, even though our ranking is at 1001. We'll see what happens as we go forward. 6-2, 6-0 in the opener. We'll see ourselves into the second round. 6-0, 6-1 in the second round, and we continue right on our way. 8-1 on the aces. 34-16 on the winners and unforced errors. Meanwhile, they were just 9 and 10. So clear advantages. Strong performance. Quarterfinals is going to place us against the number 2 seed. Ranked 400 spots above us. We've never played head-to-head. They are somebody who at 24 years of age has long left the youth circuit behind. So this is not a very high-quality player who has not performed terribly well. So I think we've got a real shot at getting through this round. 6-0, 6-3, and we do fairly comfortably. 19 unforced errors, a little high for my liking, but total domination in the winners. Semifinals are set. 1 seed is through, but they've lost. So in the final, an unranked player who is close to us in the overall World Tour rankings. And so things are actually getting easier from this point going forward. 4 seed next, and an unranked opponent after that, if we can get through this one. 6-3, 6-1, and we will play in the final. 4 double faults. That's about the worst we've seen from Kostenseva. But 36 total winners does it again. Not playing through the final at this point. I'm looking to make some rapid progress in today's episode. So we lose the opening set 3-6, but we battle back 6-1 and then take control of the match. A very tight but decisive third match with a 7-5 victory sees us win another small World Tour tournament. 2 for 2 in that department. 11 aces, 3 double faults, so advantage there. 40 winners to 23, though we did have 28 unforced errors. We did control the match, and it did turn out our way, so good job, well done. Thing already pre-arranged. Our next tournament is a junior tournament. It's only the next week. Junior girls 300, so fairly large tournament, but not a massive one. We enter as the 1 seed, and you can now see that our ranking after winning the Junior Grand Slam at Wimbledon, it's now number 2. We've jumped to number 2 in the rankings. 6-0, 6-0 in the opener. 7-5, 6-3 in the second round, and we're up against really high-ranked juniors, by the way, in this tournament. Both of our first 2 opponents have been ranked inside the top 40. 6-1, 6-3 in the third round, progressing nicely. Fourth round is a victory 6-3, 6-2 against an opponent who beat us the only time they had played previously, but you can see just how much in control Kostenseva was. And that sets up a big showdown for the final. 2 seed in the tournament, 8th ranked, pretty close to where we were at the start of the season. So big matchup on this one. Have they played each other? They have. They've played each other 3 times. Chenier has won 2 of those 3 occasions. 49 matches that she's played in the last year. That's a lot. That's quite a bit. 1 per week on average. Almost 60% win ratio. Not quite as good as what we've been, but she is still a pretty strong opponent, and of course has beaten us 2 out of 3 times. And like I said, I'm trying to progress quickly in this episode, so we're not going to play this final out. We'll have to just roll with the punches and see what happens. It is an 18-year-old, so she's a bit older than we are. Tournament win 6-2, 6-2. 61% on points won. It actually ended up being pretty comfortable. 8 aces. 31 total winners, doubling them up. 11 unforced errors, just 1 below what they had. And with that title, nice little payout of $4,000. bringing 71,000 in for the month, and you can see that we're right at a balance of 71,000 after our current month expenses when we opened up the new facility upgrade. Even with a tournament victory and no real training to speak of over the last while, you can see Kasan Seva developed quite well. Big boost to her natural fitness, almost a 17% jump on that current level. Stamina increasing nicely as well. But just the two. So we really do need to try at some point, especially the upcoming season, and maybe avoid the automatic tournament outliers and just get her into some of the big junior tournaments, not worry about the World Tour stuff. The rest of this season, we've proven that we can hang, at least at the lower levels of World Tour, and then just try to see out the junior season as best we can and compete for a junior championship. But otherwise, we need to get some development when and where we can. Another 1 seed for a large junior tournament, and we open 6-0-6-0. And we already bypassed 2 more rounds, so this is going to see us into the final after winning 6-4-6-1 in the semis. And a finals win, 6-1-6-1, sees us win another tournament. That's at least 4 in a row, if not more. For our next tournament, I tried to decline the invitation, and it ended up bringing me into the tournament anyway, just without a ranking, without a seed. And so we're going to have to come through the hard way on this one. We'll see if it turns out in the same manner as our previous, but it is what it is. It's actually a smaller tournament even, so I was trying to take the week off. And this is the final. She won it 6-2, 6-4, so she wins another tournament. But just entering this final, I got an update that her morale is getting quite low. I think she's a little jaded. She's been working a little too hard. Too many tournaments in a row, which is exactly why I tried to give her a break. I feel like I might have to actually withdraw out of a tournament or something to give her that break, give her some rest. Quick look back at the recent part of the year. So we won 4 out of 5 tournaments straight through. No breaks, no practice. It was 5 straight tournaments. Losing the finals on 1, finishing with our first juniors Grand Slam. Then hard season, we've been straight through, no rest, and we're not going to finish with any rest. So unfortunately, we are pushing right in. None of the next indoor season has been scheduled yet, so I will try to manage our scheduling going forward so that we can get some rest finally. I don't know how the rest of this is going to go, and maybe we need an early exit from one of these tournaments to get a few days of rest and recover, because that morale, rock bottom. First round is a win, 6-4, 6-2. Again, victory in the second round, though close contest in the first set. Third round, one of the highest seeds we've seen in a while, just inside the top 500 and ranked just third in this tournament, seeded, that is. 6-1, 6-3, and we continue on. We just can't seem to lose of late. Fourth round, semifinal, and wow, what a contest we had here. Losing the first set in tiebreakers, and then we win a close second set, and then we lose the third set in tiebreakers. This was the semifinal, and we're out. And for the remainder of the season for Kasan Seva, I'm going to turn off automatic registrations. We're finally finishing up the season that we're in and going into the hard court season to finish up. The Grand Slam in the U.S. junior level is week 36. Season wraps up week 47. So we've still got a ways to go. There's tournaments every week to partake in. We're going to open the next part with a break. For one, it's only a 200 level tournament, so we don't need to be in 200 level tournaments. There's less points available. There's less money involved. We're going to wait till week 38, where we have a much larger tournament. So we're going to go ahead and register for that one. We're going to bypass week 39. We're going to bypass week 40. We will take week 41. And just going for the biggest tournaments the rest of the way. Week 42. Week 43. I do want another break in there. Oh yeah, we definitely want the finals. Let's take off week 46. So do we want week 45? Sure. So 2 weeks off, 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and 1 week to wrap up the season. So that'll give us 4 weeks off to do some trainings, to do some recovery, to try to fix the morale. And I'm not going to register for any additional World Tour level tournaments between now and the end of the year. We're going to save that for next year as I focus on trying to grab the number 1 ranking by the end of this year and see if we can't win the 2 junior tour finals, or the final Grand Slam anyway, plus the final. Second round of this next tournament, 300 level junior tournament, 6'4", and this is a player that I'm working on scouting, ranked 20th overall and still quite young. Quarterfinal against the 14th ranked player in the world, 6'3", 6'1", junior ranking, that is. Semifinal matchups, and we're looking at the 5, 7, 8 seed, the 13th, 15th, 16th ranked player in the junior rankings remain in the tournament. So we do have the advantage to try to see this one out potentially and win these last 2. But of course, she does have that low morale. Close one, 5-7, 6-1, 6-2, but into the final. 65 total winners in this one. Final against the 8 seed, and we win it 6-4, 6-1. There's yet another tournament that's going to continue to accumulate points, 300 more in the bag. And we'll see if we're closing in on the top of the rankings heading into our last 2 big tournaments of the year. Not one of those anyway, not too far from now. And it's another 300 level tournament before that US Open comes up on us. It's just overly busy schedule, but it was all prearranged, all pre-scheduled, so we got to just kind of get through it, survive. I'm going to skip straight to the final if we're still in the tournament, though. Junior tournament's next week, but the senior tournament was this week. Only round of 64 for Anne, so she doesn't perform particularly well, but it still pays out $26,000. So nice little profit there. We were already profitable for the month, but that pretty much doubled that. Actually, in terms of the profit margin, it doubled our income for the month. The profit margin went up quite a bit after that. So looking good, back up to 112K, but of course the turn of the month coming tomorrow. And as promised, we're straight on to the final against the 5 seed in this tournament, and the same player that I was just talking about a couple minutes ago, the one that I'm scouting. All-time head-to-head is 2-1 in our favor. Let's see if it continues in that right direction. 6-2, 6-3, and yes, that is another tournament win. That is 7 out of the last 8 or even more. I think we might be pushing about 9 out of 10 now. A couple weeks ago, we saw that natural fitness hit level 13. You can see it's already at 33%. She's just flying in the natural fitness department. I guess that's one thing you do get from playing in a ton of tournaments. Stamina, meanwhile, has hit 12. So she's also moving up in that department. Tova's not here, so if we can win this Junior Grand Slam in the US Open in New York, this might be enough to see us into the top of the rankings. It's worth 1,000 points at the junior level. So huge increase in our stature if we could win this one. So coming in as the 1 seed, I like our chances, but we don't know. We've played so many tournaments and that morale is still very low because she needs that rest. The rest is going to come after this tournament. And just like that, we are out literally in the first round. 3-6, 6-3, 6-7. I told you the morale was an issue, and she went up against a better opponent than she's faced for. Actually, it really wasn't that good. I think it was just the stage. She was doomed with the run we've been on. Unfortunate timing, because obviously there was so much at stake in this tournament, and it really would have staked her claim for the 1 seed in the big tournament at the end of the year. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. For one thing, we're still going to get a little bit of a payout, and she's going to be able to start that rest a little bit early. So we'll ultimately get about 3 weeks off to rest and recover and just do some regular training and see if we can fix that morale. But then meanwhile, the big tournament at the end of the year, that's the one where we really need to claim the win, because that is the junior finals. And that's what I want to claim at the end of the season. So even though the US Open has not gone Kostanceva's way, and she makes an absurdly early exit with a giant killing going the wrong way. It's okay. It's okay. She actually won majority of the points here. 65 winners, but 27 unforced errors saw her make this early exit. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.